Hi, this is a video to show you a very simple linear search where I'm going to just say true or false whether a particular value is present in a data set. So for example, if I was looking for 23, it would come back and say true. And if I was looking for 16, then it would say false. But before I do that, I'm just going to make some changes to my original code. At the moment, when I call getData, it's very fixed to 5 elements. So I'm going to change that to a more general number or num elements. And I'm going to ask the user to enter the number of elements and put it into num elements. And because that value is going to be used when I display the data, and all these buttons that are asking me, well, they're going to look at all the pieces of data, I need to make it a global value so that it can be carried across the different buttons. So I'll need to go into this button and put in num elements, and I can use that instead of the 5 just to make it more general. So let's go back into the module library and let's actually go there. So I have a question for the user asking them how many elements there are. I'm going to move that and actually put it into the getData handler on the module in the module library for no particular reason, just to show you a couple of things. So I'm going to cut it from there, and if I go into the module library, the first thing I'll need to do when I get the data is to ask for the number of elements. Now you'll notice that inside this handler the number of elements is n, so I do need, when I ask them for the number of elements, to put it into n, but I need a mechanism whereby n within the handler links to number of elements out here. These are my two actual parameters. So num elements is coming in for n, and ages is coming in for data list. So the way LiveCode lets you do that is you put the @ sign on here, and as soon as you travel into this handler, the @ sign means that n is naming the same location that's being passed. So I'll just show you on here. If I click in here, let's just drag that out. Right, so this location, this storage location, when I'm outside and on the button Get Data, I've got num elements, and when I travel into the handler n, Get Data, then n is naming the same location. That's what the @ sign does. So when I put a value into n, it's automatically put into num elements. And in a sense, we say that the value of n is traveling out of the handler to its calling parameter. So we say the data flow for n is in and then out. So it goes, the value goes into n and comes out as num elements. So let's just see if that does in fact work. So I've put the @ sign on n, so now n should refer to num elements, and you'll notice that data list is referring to ages. So let's just see if I can get the data, and it says please enter the number of elements. So let's do 7 this time, and you see it's letting me type in 7 elements now. And if I display the data, I'm hoping that I will get all 7 elements there. And if we just look at display the data, I call the handler called display data. I'm passing over num elements and ages. And on the module library, display data, I've got n and I've got data list, and you'll notice I don't have these @ signs. And that's because I don't need the data to flow out in the way I did here. This one, I picked up a value for n and I needed it to flow out so that it could be used in this handler. And I picked up values for data list, so I needed them to flow out so that they could be used in here. But when I'm displaying the data, all I need to do is use those values. I'm not making any changes to data list, I'm not making any changes to n, they're just being used locally. So the data flow for these two parameters is just in. Right, let's go down to the linear search, and what I want to do is to find out whether or not I've got, well, let's just keep it simple and we'll say I want to know whether the value 18 is in the data set. So I will need my counting variable index, and I'm going to create a Boolean variable called found that will start off as false, and then I'm going to look at all the values and I've got index there, n is going to come in as a parameter, and if my data list at index equals 18, let's just keep it simple for now, then I'm going to put true into found. And if I wanted to, I could put that on the next line, but I would need to put in an end if to mark the end of the if statement. And having gone around this loop from 1 to n on the data list, which I'm going to pass in, then if found equals true, then I will have found the value 18. So I'm going to put found, or let's change that to yes so that we answer the question. Yes into, so what's this field called? Let's just have a look. So I'm going to put yes into field aged 18, else put no. I'll just tidy this up a little bit, put that down there. Right, just check all my variables here. I've got index, that's used locally, found is used locally, data list is being passed in, found, and n is being passed in as well. So hopefully, if I put in a data set that's got an 18 in it, let's just don't know why I'm getting an 8th element. Let's just try that again. Oh, I know. I need to call linear search and I need to sort out the variables. So I'm just going to go linear search, and I'm passing in my number elements. So in fact I'm going to go on to here and I'm just going to copy this across. So let's just check, get the data, ages and num elements are global, display the data, ages and num elements are global. So here, and if you remember, you must make sure that the parameters correspond. So my first parameter is my number of elements and the second is the array. So let's go in here. So this is the wrong order. I need to put this way around. So let's just try that one more time. So I'll go in here. Oh, I know what it is. I forgot to put how many elements. So 7 elements. 18 is the 6th element. And how many over 18? Well, there should be 6 of them, I think. Let's just display the data. 1, 2, 3, 4. The maximum age, let's just check that still works, 66. Oh, and that's true. Anybody aged over 18, it should say yes. Thanks for watching.